What's going on, everyone? It's Michael Mechanical here, and this is the video you've all been waiting for. I swear to God, this is the video you've all been waiting for. It's all about screws. Now, the reason I am saying it's the video you're waiting for and it's all about screws is because this is how the real world is. Where you do something and something just screws you around like a screw, and that's just about the problem that's happening now. My car has been over a month at the mechanics. The progress has come thus far to a point where they've turned the key. Piece of paper in the dash was ripped up before even starting, so they didn't know that they had to check the valve adjustment with these screws before turning the key. And they turned the key, piston valve collision already, not my fault. They had a little bit of warning about it, and I had pre-warning before I even started it that there could be that problem. So what is the actual issue? There is two types of these screws. This is the current type that is on the engine now with the brand new roller rocker arms. I still have the box for the roller rocker arms right here, what is in there, because I literally haven't cleaned up much. And this here is 90% chance of being the right screw. The other 10% is the wrong screw that's currently in there now. So here's the question, what's the difference between these screws? Well, this one here is a type A. It is a shorter type, and this one here is a type B, which is a longer type. When you buy roller rocker arms, they come with the type B. They also come with, when you buy a head with the type B screw, it comes with a type B valve, type V, type B springs, and yeah. So how do we determine exactly what was what in the circumstances? First of all, the engine's back together again. It's run for a couple of seconds, maybe a couple of minutes in its current state. Unfortunately, it's not running well. It's only on 3 cylinders, but it's also got piston valve collision. They didn't like that. So, how do we know that this screw is the problem? First of all, there is absolutely no clearance to put a feeler gauge under most of these, meaning that when they're backed off all the way and raised up as high as they possibly can, they're bottoming out on this face here, which you can't barely see in the video, but this face here at the back, where the this seat is. And then that's as far as you can back them off. Now, in order to replace this type of screw, you need to take the whole rocker arm assembly off and pull them out that way, or back off the screws enough that you can push them out and then pull them out. The other type, the type A's, which is an original first generation screw type, these can go straight in from the top down, and there is no, if these wear out, you can just replace them, whereas with those ones, you can't just replace them. You have to take everything off, put them in. But these ones are more likely to wear out just because of how they have the friction, and yeah, yada yada. But the other ones have the plastic, which also breaks. So, getting to the point, how did we identify what we've identified? First of all, no clearance. That was a sign of a problem. And the problem here currently is you have a 27mm screw, which is the A type, and the B type is about a 32mm long screw. But then you have that seat and you can't get the adjustment. So, right here we're looking at a type A spring, type A valve. Unfortunately, we have no type Bs because everything is now at the yard, and the other head, which is meant to be going on the Pajero, is in the house, and I didn't want to have to go grab that out and pull it out again because never mind. Yeah, but I can't prove anything that way. All I know is that the type A valves are 136.5 and the type Bs are 130.5. So it's only about 5-6 millimeters difference there. And if you get the 27, you add 5 or 6 to that, you get 32. And that 5mm is only the head of this. That's all it actually is. So if I look at these screws, you can see they're pretty much they're pretty much close to the identical length, except one's pretty much longer than the other. Super hard to show, but yeah, you get the point. I don't need to keep going into detail about that. So the car is still a work in progress. I'm going to have to put all the screws together again that are needed and necessary, and go to the yard tomorrow and drop them off. And hopefully this week or next week the car will be done, because I have to put rego on the thing and I haven't got the real, I don't really want to be towing it home. I want to just drive it home. So if I can, I'm going to have to get that car home ASAP, because if I have to unregister, I'm going to have to unregister. I won't be able to afford it. That's the simple fact of the matter, is that. Now I'm going to go put this in my corner, and while we're going to put that in my corner, wherever this is even going, we're going to talk about whatever else there is that's going on. But I don't know if there's anything else going on. Let me think for a moment. I'm thinking. There isn't really much else going on. But you get the point. There's the screws, they have to go on the car in order to get that thing running right. It's going to be a different sound. Unfortunately, the head that was sold to me, there's 3 types of heads that I could have bought. The one I bought was the incorrect head, in the sense it had the wrong valves in it. The manufacturers don't specify what valves they actually put in the head when they built the head, and they're like, oh, we just build the heads, we don't know what goes in the heads. What? How do I know if this is a type A or a type B? Didn't make sense. Okay, cool, fair enough. Let's go on to what I was trying to buy. I was trying to buy a complete head. And I could have bought one for the money I spent on that one, plus I could have saved some money, and now it's costing me even more money than I was originally intending to spend on the head. So that's unfortunate. Oh, how unfortunate. Yes, done. Other than that, most of the other assembly is fine. They put new belts on, new tensioners, because the old ones had some weird issue. I have no idea what was wrong with the old stuff. The balance shaft belt, they weren't happy with, because it was not sitting on the balance shaft bearing correctly. The tensioner of that wasn't sitting correctly. Then there was the upper tensioner, doesn't matter. But then they had the timing belt, the main belt. It was not seating correctly on the sprockets. So they just bought all new parts and just put them on with a whole new kit and put the old ones to the side. They're pretty much brand new all around, but dodgy parts are dodgy parts. They don't trust Repco just because of... Okay, well, that's exactly why you have problems with your parts. They came from Repco, and this is how they do business. They pay the cheapest guy to do the job, get the job done, don't care what the quality is, just as long as it suits the car, done. And they're recommending that I take the parts back to Repco and try to get a refund, which is unlikely to happen at this point. I don't believe they'll give me a refund, even if they were the correct parts. They're just... Yeah, we don't know for certain. Otherwise, the bearings in the bottom end of that engine came from Repco. I remember the main bearings were open packet of bearings. Didn't like that. I was having one little issue with it, and I'm pretty sure it'll be fine once it's all seated and put together. Once it's running, it'll be fine. It won't spin a bearing, even though there's potential it could happen. The bearings are not seating tightly in the bearing slot, so what happens is you just touch it and it just slides out. So it's like as if instead of being open and springing out that way, it's more closed like this, and so it doesn't seat very well. So putting it all together, hopefully it will be fine. When it spins the bearing, we'll know something about that and we'll know what's up. What else is left to think about with that engine? Yeah, nothing really. It looks pretty good. I have to say that they are very nice people, and I don't really want to lose business opportunities with them in the future, because I don't want to deal with all the stress. But at the same time, I reckon they do have room to improve on how they do their business, because if a car can't be done, it's one of those things where you take a car to a mechanic, and some mechanics get it done really quickly and really snappy. It is an old car. Getting parts is hard, but they had most of the right parts there anyway. I didn't have clean communication where they'd call me and let me know as soon as possible when something was up. I literally was chasing them, and then when I got to the point where it's like, well, they're not chasing me up, so I have to chase them up, and then they tell me about a problem. Literally I had to say, give me a call and let me know when you can call me, or put it on the board or something. Well, I didn't say it that way. They said they'll put it on the board. They put it on the board. They call me up. Oh, we have a problem. We've already had the thing running, and it's ran on 3 cylinders, and 1 cylinder had no compression or something wrong with it. Whew. Well, those polished pistons are no longer polished. They now have dents in them. If they had a piston valve collision. If only they knew. If only they knew. But yeah, that engine's had a lot of money spent on it, and to make mistakes is just horrible. I was expecting to make mistakes myself, And people don't realize this. Even in the professional world, they make mistakes. They can get away with some mistakes to some extent, but a major mistake is a major failure, and then it costs more money to fix it. And if it happened to be a major mistake, I'd be like, nah, bugger it, I'm getting it towed home, it's done. And I would have been upset, and I would have had to do the work myself. At this point, it's only minor collision, because the timing was correct. Nothing broke, and the pistons weren't, like, valves completely out. There would have been a little bit of load on the top end, but I'm pretty sure it would have been minor collision. It wouldn't have done much damage, and if it did, well, we're going to find out about it in the next couple thousand kilometers if it did any real damage, and it will break the engine, lose oil pressure, or something goes wrong, which is going to suck. So hopefully with these new parts going on the engine, everything will be fine and it'll all run good. Hopefully they can just do their job and get it finished, and then thank God when it's done I don't have to worry about it again for a while, which is going to be good. But I did this for the warranty on the pump. I wanted the warranty to stay on the pump, and they said they didn't like it. Well, they didn't say they didn't like that I was doing the pump. They believed that I put it on right and I did everything right there. They had things they didn't like about things that were done. But likewise, there's things that I could say that I didn't like, which is, I think I got to find a better way of doing things. I need a tag out for the keys. Put a tag out on the keys. Don't start the engine until the valves have been adjusted. Because that was a major one for the problem that could have arisen. They need to do their checks on the variable things, but I've already told them why I did not set the screws and adjust them on the head, and that was because the problem with them was I couldn't do it safely. If I put the whole thing together and then adjusted everything while the engine's half apart, there's a chance it could have hit the pistons, and I didn't want that to happen, but now it's already happened, so bad luck. That's all it comes down to. And if future owners of my car end up taking the head off and seeing pistons having collision points in them, or they have their marks, they're not going to be happy about that. They're going to get concerned very quickly and very easily, and it's like, oh shit. It just decreased the value of my engine just because of that collision. It sucks. That is why perfection is the key, because when you do something right, you have no problems. If they take the head off and they don't find a problem, that's good. If they think they found a problem, that's going to be bad, and that's something I have to put in the documentation, that they had the wrong screws and it caused the piston valve collision, and not to really worry about minor indentations on the pistons. Because, yeah, didn't want that to happen, but it's happened now. We don't know how bad. I reckon it would be minor, because the lash and adjustment wouldn't have been enough to really... Like, there's no clearance. That's a problem. But I don't think it would have been enough to hold it beyond about 1.7 millimeters, maybe? Hang on. 1.5 from the valve to the head face, then you have the 0.1 or 0.2 in the thing. So that's 1.5. So 1.6 to 1.7, I reckon, would be the clearance. It would have been very minor. It would have only just touched if it only touched. Otherwise, I think that's okay. I'm going to ignore that's ever happened. It'll be fine. I reckon the nasty noises would be back compression or something. You know, when you suck it in, but then the valves don't close, so it pushes it straight out and it can't ignite properly. The noises they heard and stuff not sounding right. I have to see how it runs when it's done. But anyway, guys, I think this video's dragged on for long enough. I think I'll end it here. I had more stuff that I did, but I didn't upload it because I don't edit videos often. When I do, it's something that takes a lot of energy to do. Lots of things take energy to do. I'm getting this off my chest with the parts and the car. But if anyone wants to come up and say that I should quit doing what I do and stuff, I think they're missing the point. The point is, these mistakes are being shown for a reason. To show that I make mistakes, to prove that mechanics are making mistakes. And to explain that this is the reality of the situation currently that's going on. There is in no way a chance that a professional isn't going to make a mistake. There's no way in hell that I'm not going to make a mistake. Everyone's going to make mistakes. We're only human, we're not robots, and even robots break down and they make mistakes. The thing about my channel is not about telling lies. It's about telling the truth. The truth is they made a mistake. Just like I make mistakes. My mistakes have had from minor to major. And when I make a major mistake, that's when everyone goes off the deep end. When I make a minor mistake, now I've got a couple of people going off the deep end about it and overinflating the problem. The thing about it is, diesels are pretty fine machines. You have to do them perfectly, and then that's the stressful thing, is not getting them done right, and then they break, and then they have issues. Once you have a lot of experience and you know what can and can't go wrong, you can accept some things and then you can't accept others. And the confidence behind what you're saying and what you're talking about is another thing that really conveys to people whether you're doing your job right or wrong. If you're not confident and you're making mistakes and you're not sure about something, then they're telling you you're not professional, you should give it up. I think people need to understand that everyone gets stressed, even the professional mechanics. And forcing someone to quit isn't a good idea at all. And when you're being a bully, that's not okay either. So I think everyone needs to learn from every experience. I still make mistakes to this day, even in professional fields which I've been trained very well. Even in fields which I'm getting told I have to do this or I'm going to get in trouble. And then the stress just builds up with everything. And somehow scammers have my credentials, my phone number, my card details, and then their circumstantial situation, evidence, whatever, suggests that I might have made an account which I did not. And it's just stressful that if someone's scamming and it's all linking back to me and it comes back to me as if, oh, you created this account, you're the scammer, then that's just going to be really the most stressful thing that's going to come up. So I don't know how they collect those details, I don't know how they gather them, but they're scammers, and I did not authorize the account creation that was made in my credentials. There's been a lot of scammy stuff going on, and it's not okay. It's not okay to scam people. It affects people's mental health, and if that's the intention, is to affect people's mental health, congratulations, you've succeeded, but that makes you a bigger A than before. Don't scam. Whatever you do, don't scam. You don't need a scam to succeed. What you need to do to succeed is be honest, genuine, decent. Don't lie. And stand up for your rights. Stand up for yourself. Because everyone is brilliant in their own way, but you just need to channel yourself correctly. Okay? You don't tell people how to live their lives, how to do their job. You encourage others to do what's best for themselves. If you're not interested in it, then don't worry about it. Walk away. Do something else. I don't force people to subscribe. You know why I don't force people to subscribe? Because I don't feel like a, person who's going to submit many videos. If something is there that someone wants, the information's there. If people want to subscribe, they can subscribe. If I make a video, I make a video. If I don't, I don't. Because I got other priorities in my life, and this isn't my life. YouTube is not my life. I got games to make, I've got a lot of other stuff to do. And to make these kind of videos costs a lot of money which I don't actually have. So there's no way I can commit to this, because this isn't a good business model for me. This is not a career path for me. My career path is going to be set up based on whatever succeeds for me, whatever's sustainable and viable. I can't sustainably do mechanical videos. And that's just one of the stressful things about it is, with my stuff, when I do my cars and stuff, that's me saving up the money to do the thing. And then it's all my money. It's literally everything I've done, saving up and doing it. I might have a few years break from doing this stuff, and then when I've got money to work on the Fairlane and I want to work on the Fairlane, you'll see those videos come out eventually. If I don't do the Fairlane, I don't do the Fairlane. If I do the Tata on a project with the Tata, I do the project with the Tata. But there's also a chance the Tata might actually go. Regardless if I spent the money on it or not, there's a chance it might actually go, because it's a car sitting there doing nothing. The engine is unreliable and there's no parts available for that thing, so it has very minimal value to anyone else but me, because I can do something with it. I can make a project video out of it. There's also in the professional world, like I ask someone to make some parts up or something, and then they don't do it. And then they will come along later and then start abusing me and putting me down as if I've done the wrong thing. But the thing is, I know for a fact that I can prove the fact that I can prove that I've contacted them multiple times and they haven't contacted me once since then about the parts. So they've got no leg to stand on and getting angry and aggressive with me. And they can tell me to walk off site, but I want to pay for my parts and I want to get my parts back. They can call the police, but I'll tell the police, look, they've got my parts, I'm trying to pay for my parts, and a part that I gave them, they've got my property, and I'm trying to compensate them to give me my property back, plus the things that I've been wanting to pay for, and I'm paying interest. But they don't want to take my deal, they just want to call you guys and tell you to remove me from the site. And then the police can negotiate the fact that, hey, if his property is actually here, please get that property out and we'll sort this out here and now, sort of thing, even though it's probably not their situation. But that's what I think is going to end up happening. But I can't go and deal with this unless I can afford to pay for it, and unless, for me, I'm not a scammer, for fact, even though it comes off as I might have scammed. But the thing is, I could have afforded the things, but they never got back to me, so they've technically scammed me. And I could put it any way I want to. There's a case of circumventing with their business and communication. For me, I am sort of accepting the circumventing because I couldn't afford it, and I'm scared I can't afford it, and I want to pay for what I've asked for. So I don't want to do something dodgy. I don't want to screw up. I want to go to them, get my parts, and be done with it. And de-stress, save up money, because I feel like, financially speaking, you need to have that cushion. If something's going to come out of your pocket, you need to be able to cushion it. And you need to know what you can and can't cushion. I need to make my games, and I think I know what I need to do in order to be successful in my field. I've got a lot of stress going on. Now it's actually showing at the end of this video, since I've had the energy to do most of the video. The stress of so many different things, and it's not coming out clearly what those other things are, but trust me, behind the scenes, thinking about some of the little things to the sides of other bigger things, the stress is actually there. And that is why I can't stand working on my own car, because if I make a mistake, that just adds to the stress pile, and stress does not forgive stress. You have to de-stress and then come back clear, collective mind, and do your thing. So I'm going to end this video here, upload it rawly, I think, because I was thinking of, I'm not going to raw video this, I'm going to edit, but I got some things I got to do, so I can't really edit videos at the moment. Thank you for watching. Michael Mechanical, out.